Well, hello. So, I will be starting my new series that I've been talking about for a while on the New Testament and the secrets, the numerical secrets to the New Testament. So, thank you for joining me. I'm going to start off with the reading of the passage. Now, I'm going to let you know this is going to be a very extensive series, hopefully, because there are so many secrets that I can only do one video per sentence. Yeah, I know. So let's get started. So in the first sentence, 1:1, the book of Matthew, the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. That's it. Now let's break down the secrets inside there. So first we've got the word. We're gonna break down the names. We've got Jesus Christ, and we're breaking down into Jesus and Christ. So first, we're talking about what comes first. First is the name Jesus Christ. Then we've got Son. Then we've got David. Then we've got Son. Then we've got Abraham somewhere, and then we've got book, generation, and let's find out where do we got book and generation. We've got book and generation at the beginning. So at the beginning, it's the importance. There's something about a book. The book is more important than Jesus. What? Yeah, that's what it says. But which kind of book? So the numerical value of the word book is 2662, which amounts to 16, which equals to 7. So 7, if it's got the 2 and the 6, 6 is an interesting number because it equates to 3 and 2, which is action and the duality of personalities, and the the yin and the yang, those kind of elements. Notice how it has two 2s and it has two 6s. So that's kind of an interesting situation to think about, the duality, and then how it adds up to 7, which is 7 oftentimes is a very magical number associated to Jesus himself. So just the word book alone. Now we go into generation. The word generation is 755919265. Notice how it has 4 5s, which is the 5 oftentimes associated with transformation and change, and then we've got 2 9s which are associated to wisdom. So when you mix those two numbers together, what are we to learn from the word generation is that there's a transformation and growth, which is kind of obvious, Then we move into the generation of Jesus Christ. I didn't do the ofs. Feel free to do the ofs in the comment section down below. But for Jesus 15131, and for Christ we've got 389112. And Jesus adds up to 11. That is one above the tree of life. So it's the transition. If anybody that knows the tree of life, inside the tree of life, there's another tree of life infinitely. There's one above it, there's one below it. It's an infinite chain of beautifulness. So 11 is about going and transforming and going above the tree of life in order to reach another tree of life, so that there's a certain level of education. And then we've got the Christ element, which is 24. 24 is a very magical number because we've got the Psalm 72. There are the 24 elements about Jesus Christ. You should check it out, which is interesting that it's Psalm 72, which is the 72 names of the light of the Creator. So there's various different secrets in there, but also 24 hours. Also 24 is associated to priesthood, and there are 24 elders in the book of Revelation when they talk about that. What else? That's just pretty much it, though. So but then we've got 24, which adds up to 8, which is understanding, which is Bina. So those are beautiful elements, and all together you've got 11 and 8, which adds up to 19, which adds up to 10, which adds up to 1. So the oneness and the connection to the light of the Creator, those kind of elements. Then the second we've got Son. Son, which is an interesting word, it's 165. So it's 1 with the oneness. 6 is that duality and action. And then you've got 5, which is transformation, in which amounts to 12, which is the 12 signs, which amounts to 3, which is action. So the Son element is, and oftentimes a lot of people have talked about the Son as the son of. So that word is very powerful and very secretive. Then you've got David, 41494, which 4 is a number for manifestation. Then you've got accounts that adds up to 22, which adds up to 4. So you've got the element deeply rooted the level of manifestation within David. And then you've got, again, son of. Then you've got Abraham. you've got Abraham, which is 1291814. Leader, which is the number 1, oftentimes showing up. And I want to talk about what numbers show up often. In Jesus Christ, oftentimes the number 1 and the number 3 are the most common numbers when you put the names together. And so that is leadership in action. In Abraham, you've got the number 1, which is the most common number, and that's leadership. You've also have a pretty spread out elements of 2s, 9s, 8s, and 4, in there as well. But you definitely have that 1 within the 3, the leadership and action. 26 is the association, which is 8, which is Bina, which is understanding. So I would say leadership and manifestation are spread throughout Abraham in that kind of situation. So those are the secrets for. Now, of course, there's various different other ways you can add up all the words together and break them down numerically and find out what's the numerical value of the sentence that is in the new book of Revelation. And what does that say about our spirituality as a humanity? Now, when the first book, you can just go nuts with it. But for the time being, we have the understanding of Jesus, David, and Abraham. And of course, a lot of students of Kabbalah, they're like, David, of course, manifestation, material possessions, that kind of situation. But what are elements that you can bring in it to the conversation about Jesus Christ and Abraham? I want to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful year, and I will be doing these, whenever I can. Take care.